In one of my last videos, I got asked the same question several times, and that is, why was I using a code plugin instead of Elementor's custom code? Now, when someone asks a question, I answer. But when that same question gets asked several times, this means I need to take a deeper look into it because there might be a better way. So I had to ask myself, is it better sticking with Elementor's custom code, or does using a plugin like FluentSnippets, CodeSnippets, or WP Codebox still make sense when Elementor has custom codes built in? And if so, in what situations? So let's take a deep dive and take a look at best practices for adding code snippets to your Elementor websites. To get started, let's first take a look at Elementor's custom code. We're going to see how this works, the pros, the cons, the limitations, and then we're going to take a look at a couple of code plugins. We'll look at FluentSnippets. This is going to be a great free option. And then we're going to look at WP Codebox. This is going to be a more premium, robust, feature-packed option. Back over the custom code, there are three big bonuses, three pluses to this. First, this is baked into Elementor. That means no extra plugins are needed. Let's take a look at some of the snippets. So let's say if we do want to add like tracking code to our website, this is perfect for that because, well, we could choose where we put that tracking code in our head, the body, or if we put it at the end, which is in our footer. And this is all pretty basic right here, but what I found that was really useful for this is having conditions, because sometimes you only want to add a script or maybe a snippet to one page of the website or to just certain parts of the website and not load on the entire website for better performance. From here, we could use it just like we would use, say, our blog posts or our archives. We choose our condition and we could say where we want this to be shown. Like I could make this just load on the home page. That way, it doesn't need to load on all of our other pages, which is unnecessary. Let's go back over to the code and let's take a look at something else. Now, I have a snippet right here for CSS. Now, the downside to this is you got to manually add in the style tags. They don't come by default. And if you were to add some JavaScript, then you would have to add in your script tags as well. For JavaScript, all you got to do is make sure you're loading this at the end. This is going to be for better performance. I always load my JavaScript inside of the footer, unless if I absolutely have to load it at top, but that's very rare. And that is pretty much it. That's what we could do with Elementor custom code. Now, we cannot add in any PHP. There's no option here. And if you want to add in CSS, you got to add the style tag. If you want to add JavaScript, you got to add the script tag, but you can still get away with it. And we do have our display conditions, which is very powerful, great for performance. But if we do want to add something like PHP, well, we can still do that technically and just go to our functions.php and we can start adding our PHP snippets here. Now, the problem with this is when we start to add several snippets, it can get messy and hard to organize. And this is where a code management plugin comes in handy, because if we take a look at something like FluentSnippets, well, if we got to add in a new snippet, we just add it in. We have our functions. We could add in our PHP snippets right here. If you want to add in your content, this is basically what custom code in Elementor does. Or then we could just add in our CSS, which already has our tags, and JavaScript, which also has the tags. But we could also manage them a lot better. For example, we have descriptions and we got tags, and then we could actually group these in folders as well. This is another level of organization that we could take to our website. For example, this effect that I did, this is a tutorial on the flashlight effect I had. I have a CSS and a JavaScript snippet, so I could group these together. And then the same thing inside of WP Codebox. We're going to see here, I got all my snippets grouped together. I got my flashlight effect. I got my snippets that are basically the same thing that I have inside Elementor Custom Code, where I'm going to be using it for like tracking snippets and so on, and then other CSS snippets. So you could organize everything. That is the big plus for using the code snippet plugin. But here's another one. And this one is really important because sometimes websites break. Sometimes we add a snippet or we do an update and things break. The website goes white, you can't see the front end, the styles break. a function doesn't work, say the checkout button on your WooCommerce website doesn't work. I've had it all happen to me. Now, when these breaks happen, usually the first step is to deactivate your plugins, seeing if code in a plugin is conflicting with your website. But sometimes it could be the snippet that you added. So from here, if it breaks, the next step in bug testing is I'm going to turn off the snippets just to see, did this JavaScript snippet conflict with my website in a way that caused a break? Just by turning it off, refreshing, clearing the cache, I could rule that out. But over here inside of Elementor's custom code, we don't have that option. And you have to ask yourself, is managing and being able to organize the backend of your website, the code snippets, is it going to be worth adding a plugin? Now, I know usually we don't want to add a plugin because we don't want to cause extra bloat or slow our website down, but this is not going to slow it down at all. It doesn't cause that kind of bloat on your website. In fact, it actually does the opposite. It helps you organize and manage your website a lot better, and it's just better for overall best practices. Here's another thing as well. Well, let's take a look at one of our snippets. I'm going to take a look at the CSS snippet here. We have a bit of a code writing experience here. It's so-so inside of FluentSnippets. It's not the best, but it isn't just plain. If we were to go to Elementor's custom code, and if we were to use the same CSS snippet here, let's go ahead and add the style tag in. Again, we have to do this manually. And then add in our CSS. Well, we don't really get too much of a code writing experience. There's a little bit, but not much. Nothing like this. But then you want to take it to the next level. And this is where a powerhouse like WP Codebox is going to come in handy. Like, this is the closest thing you're going to get to writing like in VS Code, but inside of your website. This is actually my favorite right here. I love it. But also, I feel like FluentSnippets is going to be great for anybody who isn't writing code or brand new to it, using it just to copy and paste and manage your code snippets. Everything that can be done inside of Elementor's custom code with the display conditions, putting it inside the different locations, you're going to be able to do it inside of your code management plugins. The only difference is you're going to be able to do a lot more. You're going to be able to organize, you're going to be able to disable, turn them on and off for testing purposes, and you're going to be able to have a better code writing experience. And then in cases like WP Codebox, you're just going to be able to do a whole lot more. Like, it's crazy how much you could do in this. So when it comes to could custom code work inside of Elementor, do we need this when we are adding custom snippets? Well, you could get away with it if you are doing very, very little. I mean, no PHP, adding in some tracking snippets and maybe a JavaScript or CSS snippet here and there. But if you're going to add more, definitely using a tool like this is going to be more beneficial. And this is the reason why I teach it on my channel. Now, we got to take a look at a couple other things really quick, because what about the CSS and the builder? Every element has it. You could add CSS throughout your entire site. So why not add CSS here? And why use a custom code plugin to add your CSS? And it's a very simple answer. Adding CSS throughout your website inside the Elementor builder turns messy really quick. I've inherited websites where all the CSS was put in the builder, and it was an absolute nightmare trying to locate all that CSS. Conflicts were happening everywhere, and it was a job in its own trying to clean it all out and organize it. There are certain very rare situations where using this does work. You just got to be very careful. And if I ever show to add CSS here, it is because that is the best option for that very particular situation. And then you also have another option, which is over here in your customize. And you'll see me using this inside of my tutorials. The reason why I'll add my CSS here is because I could see the actions live. I can see if I make changes. Let's say I want to make the background some crazy red color. All right, I'm just want to go bananas on this and just really mess it up. I could go ahead and put it here and see how it looks. And then when it's done and I finish all my CSS in here, it looks good. I wrote it. The best practice for this is to take it, copy it. Let's remove it, clear it out of here, and go into one of our code snippets. Now I got a global CSS here, and this is where I could add that CSS. And you see I already did. Just add it in here, update it, make sure it is turned on, set your locations, it's done. We are good to go. My recommendation stands for right now, as of this time creating this video. I believe for most who are getting started adding snippets to your website that aren't really writing code quite yet, FluentSnippets is going to be a great option. First off, it's free, it's fast, it doesn't cause any bloat, and it's great for management and organizing your website. And then for anybody who is getting serious about development, writing code, definitely WP Codebox is going to be the go-to. This is the gold standard for code writing plugins and code management plugins inside of WordPress. And then if you do not want to use a code management plugin and you're only adding like analytics tracking tags to your website and you're not really going to be adding any PHP functions, then it's nothing wrong with sticking with custom code inside of Elementor. This is a great feature and I'm glad Elementor has this. It's perfectly fine if you're going to keep it very, very minimal. So that's it. My verdict for best practices, it is best to use a code management plugin if we are going to do more than just adding a tracking snippet to your Elementor website. But here's the thing, when it comes to best practices, there are always ways to do them better. There's no ultimate best. That is why it's important to keep learning and to stay open-minded. That's what we do here on my channel. We're constantly learning how to do things better. And I hope this video helped you to improve your building process inside of Elementor and give some clarity. Now, if you do have any questions, definitely drop them inside of the comments. And if you did find value inside of this video, don't forget that YouTube stuff. You know what's up. Like and subscribe. I really do appreciate the support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you inside the next one.